Hello there, my beautiful bookish souls. I'm here with the last in a very belated series of catch-up videos. Today I will finally be wrapping up the books that I read in May and talking about the books that I hope to read in the remainder of June, because yes, it is like halfway through June now. So let's start with the wrap-up. The first book that I finished in May was The Hate You Give. Some keywords to describe this book would be contemporary, YA, Black Lives Matter, own voices. Some key themes in this book again would be the Black Lives Matter movement, racism and equality. Once upon a time there was a hazel-eyed boy with dimples. I called him Khalil, the world called him a thug. The second book that I finished in May was A Court of Thorns and Roses. Some key words to describe this book would be YA, fantasy, Beauty and the Beast retelling, adventure. Some key themes in this book, I don't even know. Princess saving the prince. Be glad of your human heart and pity those who don't feel anything at all. Second book that I finished in May will come as no surprise, and that is A Court of Mist and Fury, the sequel to A Court of Thorns and Roses. Keywords to describe this book would be the same as the previous book, except for the Beauty and the Beast part. Key themes would probably be more along the lines of post-traumatic stress and what happens after the happily ever after, along with feminism and female heroes. I was not a pet, not a doll, not an animal. I was a survivor and I was strong. I would not be weak or helpless again. I could not be broken or tamed. And the final book that I finished in May was A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is the book that I was working up to the whole time, because this was a book for the BookTube book club that I am now helping host, and I had to read it in order to help host said book club. Some key words to describe this book, also YA and fantasy and adventure. Key themes, I don't even know. War, equality, not having prejudice against people who are different to you maybe. What we think to be our greatest weakness can sometimes be our greatest strength. I'm not gonna go on about all of the bros from all of the previous months because I'm still feeling like I'm suffocating in bros and it's starting to get to me. So we'll just talk about the only bro that I have for the specific month of May, and that of course is Emma, which I started reading as a buddy read with Lauren Mays and never quite managed to keep up, and so I'm still reading. Finally, the TBRs for the rest of June, even though June is mostly over, which is genuinely giving me panic attacks. I have 3 books that I'm hoping to at least get to in June. I have no expectations of actually finishing any of them because of the fact that my reading has been so incredibly hopeless lately, mainly due to the fact that I literally just started a business and I'm still in the process of setting up said business. So we'll see how much reading I get done for the rest of the month, but in the meantime, the books that I hope to get to this month. Number 1, Fingersmith, which I talked about in my previous month's TBR. Number 2, A Room of One's Own, which was the book that I chose at the end of the try a chapter tag that I did. And number 3 was Perfume, which was the other book that I decided to read at the end of the try a chapter tag. There is a chance that I will be doing this as a buddy read with Marissa over at Blatantly Bookish, who is an absolute sweetheart and who I have been talking to on Twitter and who also wants to read this book. So hopefully that will happen, because otherwise I probably won't get any reading done in June unless it's as a buddy read, because I need someone to actually like push me. The only other thing that remains is to tell you guys what the book is for the BookTube book club this particular month. The book for the month of June with the BookTube book club is When Dimple Met Rishi, which is the newly released Own Voices YA novel, which I have on order at the bookshop but still hasn't arrived yet, otherwise I would probably already be reading it. So that is the other book that I will be reading this month, and hopefully some of you will be reading this month too, because that way we can chat about it in the live stream at the end of the month. So the final thing that I guess I have to say is that I have decided not to choose a theme for this particular month, partly because I couldn't come up with any decent puns for June, and also partly because of the fact that I feel like I'm not doing the theme idea as much justice as I would like to be able to give it, especially because of the whole business setup thing. I will still be making content, I won't be limiting it to specific themes. I'll probably be trying to catch up on more sort of tags and reviews and things like that I've been wanting to make for a while. And that's it. That is my wrap up. Now my TBRs. I'm very behind in this. Let me know what you think, if you have read any of the books that I am about to try and read, or if you would like to buddy read any of them with me, because I desperately need buddies to read books with me, otherwise I don't read them at all. I will see you in some other video very shortly, I'm sure, and until then, as always, stay classic. Sit there
and count your fingers.